Right. Welcome to our today's second class for for the topic which is very important. And last Sunday I gave you a couple of minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. What's the significance and what's the importance of this this new series which I'm starting, uh, and it is about the pain body. The pain body is an idea given by Eckhart Tolle, who is a spiritual teacher, who is a philosophical teacher, and he tells us about a new revelation about how the pain body impact negatively on our all stages of life, and physically, actually, because of this, many times we feel illnesses, we have diseases, we have um, lower back pain, pain in muscles, um, and a lot of other diseases, hypertension, uh, possibly cardiac arrest, uh, strokes, and more chances of them are more increased when we carry pain body. But what does it mean by pain body? Pain body idea, uh, Eckhart Tolle tells us about that when we actually carry the burden of our past event with us in the next life where we are going, like I'm right now, I'm here, and after 1 hour I will be doing something. Tomorrow I will be entering in the next day of my life. All these time or the next year or next month, I will be carrying my past as well. I do carry my past burden, and that comes as a burden, and that's stored in my body in unfulfilled energy, unexpressed feelings in form of energy. It's stored in a different part of my body, and when there is a suitable environment to make it trigger, it does trigger. And after this trigger, different acts, different pain, it start to come, it appeared. And I can't understand on that time. I really don't understand what's going on with my body. And that make me more scared. That make me more painful, because it this pain does increase more physically. It with the sign physiological, if you check your blood pressure, if you will check your diabetes, if you check your heartbeat rate or feeling of anxiety, all are going to be increased because of that pain body which we take with us. And because it has been triggered with my brain, my it did my with myself, my mind has done it, or my partner has done it. My partner has triggered it, but my partner didn't know. Or something I just watched in a movie, or I watched in a drama in on a television, uh, or I watched a series on Netflix or Amazon Prime, and that series was actually related with my past event, and now it's triggered. I'm getting unstable, um, you know. So that pain body, which comes every time, because of external factor from someone, or sometime with your mind, actually think about uncontrollably, and then you start to have this, and it will never go until you die, because you don't know how to identify it, because you don't know how to address it, how to handle it, and even you don't know how to manage it, how to cure it, how to avoid it in future. These are all mind-blowing and life-changing learning we are going to learn in this series. In this, you will learn, help yourself become more wise in order to understand your emotion, your thoughts, and stopping them to transfer into your brain body. So, I'm your host, Maratib Ali, and I will be helping you. I will be reading myself as well with you, with your own stories in this class. I will share with my own stories as well. We will be learning key readings from the Eckhart Tolle's book, The New Earth, and we will learn some of the paragraph from that as well. So, are you ready for this exciting learning?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Javeria. So let's start our reading and let's make our target for today's. Yeah, we will do for 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes maximum. Yeah. So, my first question and starting point of today's, where the thought come from? Right now you are thinking something. Maybe you are watching me, but there are some thoughts coming in your mind. Let's say if you don't watch me, still thoughts are coming to you, right? Let's say if you turn off your screen and you are no longer part of this conversation, this class anymore, but still you are thinking. You you do something. You always think something. Where this thought come from, where these old series of thoughts come from, and you don't have control on it. Can anybody claim that you can control your thought right now? Can you control something is coming in your mind?
No. No.
You cannot control. Nobody can control it. But where these coming from? How these thought are coming from automatically, repeatedly, you know, and you have to express these thoughts through your speak. That's why you speak. Your body start to show emotions because of these thought. We call it emotions. Yeah. So emotions actually are the creation of your thoughts, is an expression from your body. Um, but it has been triggered from your thoughts. But the from where thoughts come from, it's a $1 million question, and nobody has answer. But we will try to answer it in our this important new series, that how we um, we how we do think and why we do think and what does happen after thinking. Um, Also, we will learn what is the relationship of my thinking with my pain body, which is our main point, main subject of our class, pain body. So Eckhart Tolle, he is a very clever and very intelligent author and writer. He actually takes us from the roots level. He takes us on a grounds of pain body. And then we will first discuss what are the components on the ground, and then after we will learn the pain body. So therefore, it's going to be a very intense and very foundational learning for you. So let's start to learn where the thoughts come from. What is this magic about? Okay, before I go to the next slide, uh, let me let me ask you one question. You you eat something. Let's say I eat cookie, or I eat a burger, yeah, and it goes it goes from my mouth, from my this esophagus, from here it goes into my stomach and it start to do something. When you start to eat, your only action was to just put into your mouth and start to chew, and you are biting it, and you took couple of bites, and that's it. And after that, it goes automatically, and you don't have control. Or have you control? No, nobody has control after it has gone from your mouth into your stomach. At the same time, there are millions of blood cells in my body, and blood is circulating from my head to toe, toe to head, through, I mean, thousands of organs and tissues it has passed through. So blood is going through all around. But I don't have control. Do I have control? Nope, I don't have control. So when I am eating, but I say I digest, but actually you don't digest. You didn't do. Why are you lying? But we say I digest. It is something you did, but actually you didn't. You just bite few things and all things goes automatically. The same thing, your body is producing red cells, and there are so many thousands of automatic uh, tissues are breaking, and they are reborn again, uh, and this whole our physiological internal mechanism is out of control. I don't have control on them, but it's going on automatically. And that's how our thinking is coming. Our thinking happens like our digestion system is happening. Our blood circulation system is happening. And when I say I think, actually I don't think, because I don't have control on thinking. It just comes a random thought based on some suitable environment, and just I try to think about, for example, if I go outside, it's raining, then my brain automatically start, oh, it's raining. So many times I'm thinking based on my conditioning, my external weather or forecast conditioning. The same thing when I go to in a market, my old thoughts are, or craving to shop, coming because of environment. So forecast or environment is so important in order to creating series of thoughts, and I don't have. And if I want to control thinking, then I have to come out from that environment to go that environment which I want to create thought related to. And that's, I can change the flow of relevancy of the thought from one situation to another situation. And that's it, I can do only. But I cannot stop any of the thought. Even when I'm going to on my bed. But before going to bed, there are so many thoughts will be coming. Oh, how the whole day I passed. And if there is something bad happen, it continuously, repeatedly coming. You had an argument with your spouse, you have argument, or you have a aggressive experience with someone, with customer, with your spouse, with your children, with your own self. Some past even came, some previous experience you come across, and you are in that thought. All the time you are thinking. And in the same thinking, you start to take sleep. And then you have nightmares. And even good dreams, if you see, you don't have control on them, because the dreams are the reflection of your consciously thoughts you did in the day, and these thoughts reappear in your dream in form of symbols and images. So that process of thoughts even does not stop when you sleep. And from that thought, when you wake up in the morning, when you get up in the morning, the same fluency of the thoughts will start, and you engage again to the next day. And that thought is controlling you all the time, until you know you start to learn how to block the stop, how to block the thoughts, how to stop the thoughts, how to control the thoughts. And that's why we do sometime meditation. Meditation is actually an activity, consciously mindful activities, in which you start to stop the thoughts to come, and you live and you try to live with empty mind. And that is the greatest challenge of today's world. Many unstable people, many aggressive people, many angry people, or many even normal people, they have the problem not to control their mind, because the thoughts are the function of mind, and mind is located in my brain, physical brain. And that's is just, it's like a ripple. Once you throw the pebble and the stone in the lake, it start to generate ripples continuously. It never stops. It never stops. And that's how your brain is start to have this instability all the time. And if you don't have control, and you don't have a right way of learning and knowledge, then these unstable thoughts which are continuously, they will turn you into psychological patient, make you psychotic in condition, make you in too much conditioning, that you don't have control to do anything with free will. You will not have a free will. And mostly 99% people in our today's world, they don't have 99 free will at all. We are all social conditioned, and our mind is the only organ which is continuously pulling these old thoughts in my mind. And I need to learn how to stop them, how to control it, how to manage it. And that is going to be happen thus. So therefore, like I said earlier, we do meditate. We do meditation. We do readings, sacred literature. For example, we read Bible. We read Quran. We read Bhagavad Gita. We read a lot of divine revelation, and we make our thoughts little more pure. Even you are with thoughts still when you are reading something, but the main challenge is you have to live without even any thought. And therefore, in Buddhist religion, meditation, in Muslim Sufi tradition, in Christian monk tradition, in Hindu monk traditions, or yogi tradition, there are certain practices which only gives you this mastery to have this skill to live, have life without any thought, even any positive thought. It shouldn't become when you have to control your mind. So that is the number one learning we are going to address in this class. Now let's go further in one step. And why we are thinking all the time, it is also because of our past. Eckhart Tolle is saying because our past is a series of events, whether they are good events or good feelings, or whether they were the bad feelings, or mostly are the bad feelings. They are stored in our some part of brain in form of memories, and that form of memories gets have these movements stored. That depends how you were feeling on that time. The intensity of that feelings make more impact on your memory when you later on you try to memorize that event, bad or good event. And that controls your present again and again. In a Hindu tradition, there is a great concept of karma. I don't know whether you are familiar with this. The karma or the karmic events are, though even it is more a point of research in modern spirituality as well, in Christian tradition, in Muslim tradition, in many traditions as well, or in just a spiritual tradition without any religion, that the karma repeatedly itself, what you done in your past life, it comes in any other form in your future life. It is so much strong. This is the Eastern tradition. Usually people believe on this, but many Western philosophers and thinkers, they also admit as well. It is also a point of research for me as well, and I'm still researching on this, on this. So that's why, because of this conditioning, we these thoughts never stops because of our memory. Imagine your memories are wiped out, totally erased because of some reason. What the thing you will be thinking? Imagine this. Just have an empathy about yourself when you will not have any memory. It has been wiped for some reason. What will happen? Tell me. Even you don't know the language. Even you don't know the letters of your native or mother language, which in which your mother or your society is speaking or listening or thinking. You even don't know. You don't know what they're talking about. Imagine what you will be thinking on that time. Can anybody tell me? No, you will be thinking nothing. That type of mind, empathy mind, we need to do. We need to have mastery. Whenever we try to focus on our mind, not to think anything, that mastery we should have. And that's we going to learn. So let's start to read something, and then we will go further. So I would ask Jenny if you can read this and next slide.
For thousands of years, humanity has been increasingly mind possessed, failing to recognize the possessing entity as not self. Through complete identification with the mind, a false sense of self, the ego, came into existence. The density of the ego depends on the degree to which you, the consciousness, are identified with your mind, with thinking. Thinking is no more than a tiny aspect of the totality of consciousness, the totality of who you are.
Yeah.
The degree of identification with the mind differs from person to person. Some people enjoy periods of freedom from it, however brief, and the peace, joy, and aliveness they experience in those moments make life worth living. These are also the moments when creativity, love, and compassion arise.
Excellent. Thank you for reading. So you see that there is important development in this learning. The Eckhart Tolle has just tell us that when our mind came into being and we start to exist, we start to identify myself is my mind. You know, when I start to read and research on this spirituality, and the one and most only one biggest revelation upon me was that I'm not mind only. Before that, I just was thinking what I think about me or what I am is my mind. I mean, there was no question about that. I would think that I'm other than my mind. So my mind was too much influencing on me that I never thought about anything beyond my mind. And I identified myself only as mind. I'm just a mind. And that was my biggest mistake. And mostly 95% people are still in this false identification, because we all think that if there is no mind, I am not living more. There is no self. And that has made us more egoistic, more egoful. And we are in egoic mode all the time, because we we do identify our false sense of self, which is called ego, which is the identification of my mind. And uh, a great philosopher, I really learned a lot of things from that philosopher, Nietzsche. If you know about Nietzsche, he was a German philosopher, and he gave us the code as a guidance to the humanity. And he said, I am a mind, therefore I am. That code that he actually gave us the idea to the modern nation, to the America, to Europe, to the old modern world, that I am mind, therefore I am, is the root cause of problem of this in this world. That he only identify ourselves with mind. And that was the biggest misperception by this great philosopher, unfortunately. Whereas this code should be like this, should be, I am being, therefore I am. If our all nations were under the influence, positive influence of that being, not the mind, then our present world would be entirely different. Because we would not be identified only with my mind. Then I would be identified myself. I'm a consciousness. I'm a soul. I'm a being with unlimited strength, with unlimited uh, potential, and without any ego, or a less degree of ego. Then imagine what would be our world have. But now we are fully egoic. Not only 99% people in our world on planet, even it has spread collectively. Our nations are egoic now. Every nation is trying to build their ego against other nation. That's how falsehood we are start to live in a on a nation level, and that's why our global planet Earth is in danger because of this fact. So let's try to read further. I would ask Mike if you can read this and then next slide as well. Yeah, Mike, you can listen us. I think maybe microphone is not working. So let's go to Cynthia. If you can read it, please.
Those are constantly trapped in the egoic state. They are alienated from themselves as well from others and the world around them. When you look at them, you may see the tension in their face, perhaps the furrowed brow, or the absent or staring expression in their eyes. Most of their attention is absorbed by thinking, and so they don't really see you, and they are not really listening to you. They are not present in any situation, their attention being either in the past or future, which, of course, exists only in the mind of as thought forms. Or they relate to you through some kind of role they play, and so are not themselves.
Yeah, please continue.
Most people are alienated from who they are, and some are alienated to such a degree that the way they behave and interact is recognized as phony, but almost everyone except those who are equally phony, equally alienated from who they are. Alienation means you don't feel at ease in any situation, any place, or with any person, not even with yourself. You're always trying to get home, but never feel at home. Some of the greatest writers of the 20th century, such as Franz Kafka, Albert Camus, T.S. Eliot, and James Joyce, recognized alienation as the universal dilemma of human existence. Probably felt it deeply within themselves, and so were able to express it brilliantly in their works. They don't offer a solution. Their contribution is to show us a reflection of the human predicament and embarrassment or unpleasant, so that we can see it more clearly. To see one's predicament clearly is the first step toward going beyond it.
Thank you. It's a great reading. Thank you very much. So, uh, it is the reflection of our egoic mind to think continuously. And what does it means that when we think more from our mind, it does mean that we are going more alienated. We are going less identify with my own self, and that is the alienation which our world is going on. That nobody is happier, nobody is satisfied ever, even if I will have everything. For example, if let's say if you are unemployed or I am unemployed, the best thing, the best wish will I have, oh, I should have a job in a good company. Let's say after I will get a job, does it make me happy forever? No. Now after a few time, I will start to go for another job with more incentive and more good salary. And then if I will get more good salary, then I will start to think to launch my own business. When I will make my own company and will now go for another bigger company. And then today I'm a millionaire, and now I'm going for becoming a billionaire. And if I'm becoming a billionaire, I'm going to be becoming a multi-billionaire, and never ends. If I have a house today with, let's say, five room house, then now I'm going for now bigger house tomorrow. Once I will have a bigger house, then I'm going to have a more bigger house. I'm not settling anywhere. Because I'm not identified with myself, my own self, which is static, which is as silent, which is a being which does not need any any needs or desire, because being will remain being. What is desiring, what is craving inside you? It's only your thoughts which are making you unstable. So here the Eckhart Tolle is saying you are going to become more alienated from what you are actually. And because you have misjudged yourself, you have misidentified yourself, therefore this alienation is going to be your death point, and you are going to be die very sooner with the uncertain death, with pathetic death. I mean, that's how we are be unpleasant, and we remain all the time. You know, Stephen Covey, before he dies, uh, I listened his one of the video, and he told about many people when they are celebrating 80th birthday. I wish that I would have my 80th birthday, but he said many people when they are on 80th birthday, they still thinking that they did not achieve something which they could do. Even they were at the 80th birthday, or they were dying at the deathbed at the 80th years of their age, that they've remained unsatisfied, dissatisfied, and they could do more what they could not do. So why this greedy, unsatisfied, unstable personality we do have? Because of our wrong identification. We identified ourselves with our mind. We proud to be on this, and this prideness takes us physical illnesses, psychotic condition, social conditioning, and the global risk of being dying as a global pandemic in many forms. So I will remain here, and we will continue to our next point, which is a birth of emotion next week. The birth, where this emotion come from, what is the relationship of emotion with my thought, and how uh, we show our emotion through our body, that we are going to discuss next week. Um, so we will continue in our class week 3 for this very much topic, how the process of pain body works and how to control it. Do you have any question, or you want to share your personal story? Uh, Please feel free to tell me, or we are all are listening to each other. Yes, Cynthia?
I think a lot of it is we don't know how to put closure on certain events, so that stays with us, some slot in our brain until something activates it.
Absolutely, yeah. We are going to learn the same thing exactly. You are ahead of what we learn. That's good. Yeah, that when there were certain events, certain things happens, and that remained unresolved, that remained in mystery, and we did not deal it properly the way it should be, then it reappears in a in a pain body form, in a higher or lower intensity, and it remained us more unstable, of course, and that's we are in process to understand it properly so that we can help ourselves. Imagine that a boy or a girl who who have who were the victim of rape. Imagine that women who were tortured abusively in domestic matter, or who was raped or who was gang raped, but she happened to alive fortunately, and what the pain she will have, can we estimate or understand the pain body she will have later in the life? What she could express her pain when she had a victim of this cruelty by the people, or the people whose whole family, mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, all died in a war, and that child remained alone in the house. Now what the level of pain that boy or that girl will have in later in the life. Could we imagine? That's we all are trying to understand and help ourselves to um, to help ourselves first, and if we could inspire other to help themselves, that will be great, so that we should not suffer in our pain body. So that's it, our today's class for this. We will continue our week 3 for the pain body next week. And thank you very much. If you have any comment, you want to share anything, please feel free to comment below. And we will come and continue our this week 3 next Sunday. And you can invite your friend and family for this class uh, on Zoom or Facebook Live. And this 1 or 2 hours of your whole week will guarantee to give you something which is so foundational and so much productive for your future life. I give you guarantee for this. Thank you very much and see you next Sunday.
Have a great week, Maratib. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maratib. Mike, I hope you feel better soon. And Cynthia, I can't wait to exchange some photos. We need to send each other our snow photos. I will. Be safe if you have to go out, but they tell you not to go out. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I have everything that I need. I can't wait. I'm so prepared.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm waiting for you guys. Any video or photos in the WhatsApp?
Oh, yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye. Bye.